Green flag, green flag.
Focus is key, especially with all these cars buzzing around like bees at a picnic. The cream of the crop knows how to find their groove right quick.
Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here. There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start.
Let's hope they all brought their A games today.
You know, they say, steady as she goes, and that's exactly what Smells Like We's doing. Holding on to 6, maybe they've got a trick or two up their sleeve for later. Well, ain't that a slice of vanilla? Megasaurus 55 sitting pretty right where they started. Comfy as a koala in a eucalyptus tree. So Megasaurus 55's decided to play it cool, eh? Holding on to 3 like a croc with a juicy steak. Just sizing up the competition, I reckon.
No rush, no fuss for Megasaurus 55. In the South, we appreciate taking a moment to breathe, and that's just what they're doing at 3. We'll see how things spice up.
Look, it's not always the fireworks on track that win the race. Smells Like We is playing it cool, holding their cards close. It's a game of inches now as Roby tails Smells Like We closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. A brilliant maneuver from Roby, who has just moved up the field.
Man, if racing was a barbecue, Robbie just threw down the spiciest ribs. Up to 5th and sizzling.
It's a close race between Megasaurus 55 and Jack M team in 2nd. Megasaurus 55 is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Jack M team at the moment. The action is non-stop as Smells Like We shadows Roby through every twist and turn, determined to claim 5th.
A misjudgment by either driver could result in a close encounter of the tire barrier time, and that's one handshake they'll want to avoid.
Things are getting spicy as Megasaurus 55 is breathing down Jack Empton's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them. Quiet, steady, reliable. That's Megasaurus 55's game today. No drama, just some good old-fashioned racing. Wow, Smells Like We is really pushing hard to catch up to Roby. There's blood in the water for 5th place.
Now, that's some driving, y'all. Smells Like We is putting the pressure on Robbie. It's like watching a cat stalk a bird. They're inching closer with every turn.
Gee whiz, Smells Like We's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking.
Smells Like We's suspension setup's really letting them carry speed into the apex, catching up to Robbie like molasses in winter.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? There's not much to report on from Megasaurus 55 at the moment. They're just keeping their head down and putting in consistent laps.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Megasaurus 55 just needs to bide their time and wait for the right opportunity.
It's an intense battle for position as Roby tries to outmaneuver Vectra 2000 at. This is edge of your seat racing. The gap between Roby and Vectra 2000 is getting smaller. Buckle up, Megasaurus 55 is all over Jack M team like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action? The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Jack M team is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 0.6 seconds. The adrenaline is pumping as Roby gets within striking distance of Vectra 2000 in their race for fourth. Roby's been working the tyre temps, and it's paying off. Grip's better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, Vectra 2000 at.
Dang, Robbie's fuel strategy and conservation of those brakes is spot on. They're inching closer to Vectra 2000 and like a hound on a hot dog. If consistency was an art, Megasaurus 55 would be Picasso today. Just churning out those laps, one after the other. And that's what separates the pros from the rookies. Megasaurus 55 knows when to push and when to play it safe. It's a dance, and they've got the rhythm.
The track conditions are looking good here today. The drivers will be able to push the cars to the limit, and it's going to make for some exciting racing. It's a thrilling pursuit that smells like Wii is right behind Roby, keeping the pressure on for fifth place. Alright, hold your horses. Roby is really putting the heat on Vectra 2000 at. If I were Vectra 2000, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop. I swear, Roby's on the prowl, making that leap to third look as easy as a Sunday Arvo barbecue. Fantastic move from Roby, who has just gained a position.
Well, slap my knee and call it a jamboree. Robbie's putting on a masterclass, storming into second.
A strong showing from Roby, who is currently second. It may seem like Roby is far behind, but Jack M team can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Roby an opening to catch up.
If this was a country song, Jack M team would be the one riding off into the sunset, and Robbie would still be tying their boots.
In the midst of this high-octane spectacle, Megasaurus 55's skill is shining through as they claim 7th. At this stage of the race, Vectra 2000 is holding on to 3rd. Anything can happen from here. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Patrick Schwanz will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
It's going to be tough for Patrick Schwanz, as Smells Like We seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Patrick Schwanz pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
Looks like Andreas Dittmann is trying to chase down Patrick Schwanz, but right now it feels a bit like my attempts at dieting. A lot of hard work with slow results. The gap between Andreas Dittmann and Patrick Schwanz is growing. It's now up to 23.6 seconds. It's a battle of wills out there, with Patrick Schwanz trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Smells Like Weed. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
Speaking of rhythm, have you heard Smells Like Weed's favorite song? Maybe Patrick Schwanz can play it to distract them and close that gap. Just a thought.
It might be early days, but Jack M team is already casting a shadow from the first. It's a solid performance from Jack M team at the moment. They're holding their position and not getting too caught up in battles around them.
Right you are. Racing isn't always about the overtakes and close calls. Sometimes, it's that rock-solid performance, like we're seeing from Jack M team, that makes the difference.
The gap between Roby and Patrick Schwanz is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Roby to bring Patrick Schwanz into play. Truth, Smells Like Weed's not here to muck about. The gap to Vectra 2000 is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 0.4 seconds.
Holy smokes. Smells Like Weed's extracting every ounce.
Hold on a second. Andreas Dittmann is in the pits. Oi, Andreas Dittmann, got a mirror? Cos Megasaurus 55's closer than my unpaid pub tabs. This race has turned into a game of cat and mouse. Smells Like Weed is the predator, with Vectra 2000 firmly in their sights. Game on now. Smells Like Weed has closed the gap to Vectra 2000 now. It's now down to 0.8 seconds. You can feel the focus radiating from Megasaurus 55, confidently holding onto the 6th.
Yes, and in this high-octane opera, Megasaurus 55's voice resonates the loudest from that 6th.
Crikey, Vectra 2000 is losing touch with Smells Like Weed quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Mate, Vectra 2000 has really given it a burl out there. Ripping it up like a croc in a water hole.
I tell ya, I haven't seen that kind of ferocity since my days at Indy. But you Aussies, always gotta bring up the wildlife, huh?
Tell ya what, Vectra 2000 has got more guts than a croc in a boxing ring. Closing the gap and breathing down the neck of Smells Like Weed. Hope Smells Like Weed brought the AeroGuard, cause he's about to get bitten. Tell ya what, Andreas Dittmann's trailing harder than my belt after Christmas dinner. Reckon he's got a plan up his sleeve, or is he just here for the sausage sizzle?
Look, Andreas Dittmann's pace is a lot like my dance moves. Good intentions, questionable execution.
Vectra 2000 has got the tail tighter than a kangaroo in a hammock. If Roby is gonna make a pass, they'll have to buy them a drink first.
In the dance of speed and power, Vectra 2000 is leading, and Robbie's trying to catch the rhythm. But today, the tune's being set by the one in front.
Vectra 2000 that's losing time to Roby like a leaky tap dripping water. A bit more slip, and we'll be in for a real dogfight.
Like a fox in the henhouse, Robbie is causing all kinds of trouble for Vectra 2000M.
Jack M team is placed first at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Smells Like Weed, who is 13.7 seconds behind. This is what high-octane racing looks like. Patrick Schwanz is breathing down the neck of Roby, not giving him any room to relax. During your racing career, how did you determine when it was the right time to pit for fresh tyres due to tyre degradation?
It was a combination of factors, Rob. Monitoring lap times, communicating with the team about tire wear, and assessing the car's handling were all crucial in deciding when to make a pit stop for fresh tires.
Every gear shift, every pedal push, Patrick Schwanz has got one goal in mind, capturing Roby's spot. The gap might be more than a second, but Megasaurus 55 is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep it and something's got to give. Incident alert. It looks like Andreas Dittmann has been called into the pits. Oh, hold up a mo. Andreas Dittmann has pulled into the pits. Sorry to interrupt here, but Andreas Dittmann has decided to pit. Even though Vectra 2000 is a fair way behind Smells Like We, they can't afford to let their guard down. Smells Like We is still vulnerable to mistakes.
It's a game of inches and miles. Right now, Smells Like We's got the miles, and Vectra 2000 that's counting the inches.
It's like watching a cheetah chase its prey. Roby's got Vectra 2000 in their crosshairs. A great pass for Roby as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Vectra 2000 has lost ground.
You see, it's moments like these that separate the champs from the chumps. And Robbie's looking every bit the champ today.
During your racing career, Hal, did you have any specific techniques to regain concentration if you felt it slipping?
Yes, Rob, I had a few techniques. One was to take a couple of deep breaths and briefly reset my focus. Another was to use a specific keyword or phrase as a mental trigger to refocus my mind on the task at hand.
Looks like Andreas Dittmann is chasing Megasaurus 55 harder than a croc chasing a tourist who's lost their thongs. It's a bit of a long shot, but we all remember that one time at the pub, right?
My mama used to say, you can't shine if you don't try. Guess Andreas Dittmann missed that lesson. Just like my pie-making class.
The race is really heating up. Patrick Schwanz is hunting down Roby with everything they've got.
The rubber's burning, the crowd's yearning, and Patrick Schwanz's engine is churning to get past Robbie.
It looks like Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard to catch up to Vectra 2000 at. The gap is over a second, but Megasaurus 55 is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Vectra 2000 at?
Just like my attempt at barbecue last summer, Megasaurus 55's burning time, it ain't getting any hotter.
Racing isn't always about the flash and dazzle, and Megasaurus 55 proves it. Smooth as silk and holding fort right where they are. As we enjoy seeing these titans of the track battle it out, let's not forget about the pit crews. Those guys and girls are like a well-oiled machine themselves.
Absolutely. They're the unsung heroes of the racing world. But you know what they say, behind every great driver is an even greater pit crew.
It's a nail-biting showdown between these three drivers. They're nose to tail, pushing their limits in every corner. The gap between Jack M Team and Smells Like We may be wide, but that doesn't mean Jack M Team is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
I've seen kangaroos that close the gap quicker in the bush than Smells Like We is doing now. They've got their work cut out for them.
Jack M Team's turned up the heat and put some shrimp between them and Smells Like We, making a fair dinkum gap.
Jack M Team's stronger out there than a bowl of North Carolina chili. They're not giving Smells Like We a sliver of a chance to catch up.
Oi, Roby's really making Megasaurus 55 work for it.
It's going to come down to who wants it more.
And Roby has just lost the place to Megasaurus 55. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. Look, it's not always the fireworks on track that win the race. Patrick Schwanz is playing it cool, holding their cards close. While Jack M team is not under immediate threat from smells like we, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip up could cost them their position.
Absolutely right, Rob, and smells like we knows that too. They have to keep driving at their best if they want to take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way.
No worries for Jack M team, who's leaving smells like we for dust, as though they're a parched float chasing the beer van. It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
Rob, last time I saw Patrick Schwanz this riled up, there were sparks flying off the track. Get ready for a showdown.
We're watching Vectra 2000 at in third, and is currently being hounded by Patrick Schwanz with a gap of just 0.8 seconds. It's been a solid race so far for Vectra 2000 app. They're holding their position and keeping a steady pace. The age-old challenge. Andreas Didman is trying to catch Roby, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks.
Watching Andreas Didman right now is like reliving my high school track meets. A for effort, D for speed.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Patrick Schwanz is proper nipping at Vectra 2000 at's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. Bloody oath, Patrick Schwanz is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to Vectra 2000 at down to a scant 0.7 seconds.
Now this is what I call some high-octane excitement. Both drivers pedal down, looking to grab the brass ring.
Tell ya what, Roby is trailing like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing today. This is what it's all about, folks. Patrick Schwanz is in hot pursuit of Vectra 2000, who's just trying to stay ahead. The best laid plans of mice and men are hell, but it's certainly not going to plan for Patrick Schwanz right now as they are struggling to keep up with Vectra 2000 app. In a race where seconds count, Roby is counting on less of them between themselves and Megasaurus 55. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime.
Lord have mercy. Robbie's got more space between him and Megasaurus 55 than my paw got between his ears. But miracles do happen. Just ask my ex-wife.
Stone the crows. Roby's managed to trim that gap with Megasaurus 55, eh? Must be the slipstream effect on this straight. Or maybe they've put down their beard.
With every lap, I can see Robbie making micro-adjustments on that steering wheel, refining traction control. They're itching to show Megasaurus 55 their taillights.
Aussies love a good underdog story. Any dark horses you're keeping an eye on for this race?
Well, every rodeo has its wild card. I've got a couple names in mind, but I'll keep them close to the vest for now.
The gap between Patrick Schwanz and Vectra 2000 is razor thin as they vie for third in this nail-biting contest.
The only thing closer than Patrick Schwanz to Vectra 2000 right now is the paint on their cars. Talk about a close encounter.
The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Roby is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Megasaurus 55 to bring Roby into play.
You know, it's like Megasaurus 55's out on a Sunday Arvo drive. They can see Robbie in the rear view, but there's no rush, mate.
Whoa there, Vectra 2000 is sticking to Patrick Schwanz like glue. You reckon Patrick Schwanz is feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
It may seem like Smells Like We is far behind, but Jack M team can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Smells Like We an opening to catch up.
Reckon Smells Like We's starting to feel a bit like they're out in the outback. They can see the horizon, but it's a long way off. Good on ya, Jack M team, for keeping that distance.
Impressive stuff from Jack M team, who has managed to pull away from Smells Like We, leaving them choking in their exhaust fumes.
That's exactly what Jack M team needed to do.
Let's talk about tyre degradation. How does it affect the car's handling, and what do drivers need to do to adapt to the changing conditions?
Tire degradation can significantly impact handling, Rob. As the tires wear, the grip reduces, and drivers need to adjust their braking points, cornering speeds, and throttle application to maintain control of the car.
Even though Smells Like We is a fair way behind Jack M team, they can't afford to let their guard down. Jack M team is still vulnerable to mistakes.
Jack M team's setting the pace out there. Now, it's on Smells Like We to find the rhythm and get back in this dance.
As the sun beats down and the engines roar, Megasaurus 55 stakes a claim in fifth. Megasaurus 55 is giving a masterclass out there, but will overconfidence be their downfall?
Indeed, Rob, pride comes before a fall. Let's see if Robbie can capitalize on any mistake. Agreed, Rob, superb driving there. If they keep this up, this race should be a real thrill ride.
You know, back in Oz, we have a saying, flat out like a lizard drinking. That's exactly what Megasaurus 55 is doing right now.
I've always wondered, what's that even mean? Lizards, drinks, racing? Y'all have a wild imagination down under.
Good on ya, Andreas Dittmann. Trailing so far back, reckon the front pack has already written the eulogy.
Gee whiz, Andreas Dittmann is so far back, I'm half expecting to see tumbleweeds blow past. Maybe a vulture or two.
Patrick Schwanz is placed third at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Vectra 2000 who is 4.8 seconds behind.
Absolutely. And on the other side of the equation, Vectra 2000 can't afford to let up. They have to drive with intensity and focus, and wait for any opportunity to arise.
The tension is building as Vectra 2000 trails behind Patrick Schwanz. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Patrick Schwanz hold on, or will Vectra 2000 be able to close them down? The gap between Vectra 2000 and Patrick Schwanz is widening. It's now up to 6.2 seconds. Remember when Andreas Dittmann was on the pace? Neither do I, kinda like my recollection of last Friday night. And we're back, where the drivers are showing us some incredible skills.
Indeed, Rob, it's always exciting to see these skilled machines on the tracks. I mean, drivers. I always get them confused.
The gap between Andreas Dittmann in 7th and Roby remains over a second, but Andreas Dittmann is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 0 minutes?
Nail-biting indeed. I've already chewed through half of mine. And while Andreas Dittmann is going for gold, I'll be going for a manicure.
From the cockpit to the pit lane, the chatter is all about Megasaurus 55's masterful hold on the fifth. While Jack M team is not under immediate threat from Smells Like We, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position.
That's very true, and Smells Like We knows that as well. They have to drive their own race and wait for Jack M team to make a mistake if they want to have any chance of overtaking.
Jack M team's in front, but Smells Like We is clinging on like a koala to a eucalyptus branch, reducing the gap to 6.6 seconds.
Jack M team better find a way to step on the gas, or else Smells Like We will be whizzing past before you can say, checkered flag.
Mate, I've always thought choosing a tyre compound is a bit like choosing your favourite Aussie beer. Do you go for something robust that can last, or something that gives a quick hit but might wear out fast?
Haha. Well, I reckon it's more like our North Carolina barbecue sauces. Some like it sweet and long-lasting, others prefer that quick tangy kick. But I'll tell y'all, getting it wrong is like biting into a pepper when you're expecting a blueberry.
The gap between Jack M team and Smells Like We may be wide, but that doesn't mean Jack M team is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
You're spot on, and Smells Like We knows that they can't rely on Jack M team making an error. They have to keep driving with skill and determination, and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes their way.
It's the classic cat and mouse game, but instead of cheese, the prize is a racing position. Can Megasaurus 55 steal it from Vectra 2008? Well, don't come the raw prawn. Megasaurus 55's giving it some stick, pulling Vectra 2008 into a mere 33.2 seconds. Anyone who says that Assetto Corsa Friends is not the best racing club on the planet is clearly insane. The quality of driving we're seeing out there on the track is absolutely phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more. It's like these drivers were born to race. They're weaving in and out of traffic, taking corners at unbelievable speeds, and making it all look effortless. It's clear that they've put in the time and effort to hone their skills.
Megasaurus 55 is owning the tarmac, confidently owning the 5th spot.
Oh, spot on. With the way Megasaurus 55 controls that 5th, you'd think they've got the track's blueprints.
If racing were a dance, Roby would be trying to lead, but Megasaurus 55 just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up.
Good lord, at this rate, Robbie's gonna finish this race in the afterlife. Hope they got good insurance.
Roby's creeping up on Megasaurus 55 like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear.
This ain't Robbie's first rodeo. They're optimizing their racing line, reducing understeer. If Megasaurus 55 ain't nervous, they sure ought to be.
Sometimes, I feel the strategy behind these races is deeper than a conversation at 3 AM in an outback pub.
You're telling me, it's like planning a family reunion in a small southern town. You've got to consider who's coming, who's feuding, and who's gonna cause a ruckus. Then prepare for it all to change in a heartbeat.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Roby trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Megasaurus 55. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Roby close in enough to mount a challenge?
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, Robbie's neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
In a world where milliseconds matter, Megasaurus 55's grasp on the 5th speaks volumes.
Absolutely, Rob. It's like watching a maestro at work. Every move Megasaurus 55 makes is pure art.
You know, Smells Like We reminds me of my dating life. Starts with promise, ends up tailing behind everyone else.
Absolutely. Smells Like We in second will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
Remember when we thought Smells Like We had peaked? Think again. They're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making Jack M Team's mirrors awfully busy. Look at the way the drivers are hugging those corners. It's like they're on rails.
Speaking of rails, did you know that the first racetrack was built on a railway in 1896? I bet those drivers were chugging along.
Ha, I bet they were. But things have come a long way since then, haven't they?
Definitely. It's amazing to think about the technology that goes into these cars now. I mean, they have more computing power than some countries.
As the laps tick by, Megasaurus 55 finds themselves in 5th. Every moment counts.
Definitely, but they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Megasaurus 55 has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
The gap between Patrick Schwanz and Vectra 2000 is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Patrick Schwanz to bring Vectra 2000 into play.
If this was a game of beach cricket, Vectra 2000 would be still waiting for their turn to bat. Patrick Schwanz has got a good lead on them.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Megasaurus 55, who is currently in P5. But Vectra 2000 is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Megasaurus 55.
Indeed, the tension is palpable as Megasaurus 55 tries to reel in Vectra 2000 ad. But Vectra 2000 ad is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can Megasaurus 55 find some extra pace to bring the fight to Vectra 2000 ad?
Looks like Vectra 2000 at strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now.
This is where experience comes into play. Patrick Schwanz has been in this position before and knows how to defend their position. But Vectra 2000 ad is hungry for success and won't give up easily. Will we see a clash of the titans?
Things are looking as crook as Rookwood for Vectra 2000, lagging behind Patrick Schwanz and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. Alright, I've got to ask, ever tried Vegemite?
Tried it once. Reminded me of NASCAR rubber mixed with axle grease. But hey, to each their own.
Andreas Dittmann's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate. Even though Vectra 2000 is a fair way behind Patrick Schwanz, they can't afford to let their guard down. Patrick Schwanz is still vulnerable to mistakes.
That's right, and Vectra 2000 knows that they have to keep pushing hard and driving their own race. They can't let Patrick Schwanz off the hook.
A commanding performance from Patrick Schwanz, who has increased their lead over Vectra 2000 putting them firmly in their rearview mirrors.
It's really looking like Patrick Schwanz is going to be tough to pass today. They're driving with real confidence and authority.
It may seem like Smells Like We is far behind, but Jack M Team can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Smells Like We an opening to catch up.
If this was a country song, Jack M Team would be the one riding off into the sunset, and Smells Like We would still be tying their boots.
Oh no, Hal, look at this. Smells Like We is closing in on Jack M Team. The gap is now just 5.0 seconds. Patrick Schwanz is placed third at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Vectra 2000 who is 9.8 seconds behind.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Well, looky here, Hal, Vectra 2000 is closing in on Patrick Schwanz. We're talking a gap of just 9.1 seconds.
They need to step up their game and start pulling away again.
The way these cars grip the track is incredible. It's all about downforce. They're stuck to it like a piece of gum to the bottom of a school desk.
Now that's an analogy, I get. But why's your gum always under the desks?
The gap between Patrick Schwanz and Vectra 2000 may be wide, but that doesn't mean Patrick Schwanz is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. Oof, if Andreas Dittmann was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in that step.
Hoo boy, Andreas Dittmann needs to kick it into high gear. Right now, they're slower than molasses in January or my cousin Earl trying to solve a crossword.
You reckon Roby saw a spider in the cockpit? Cause they're running away from the front like it's Huntsman Central. Oi, Roby's chassis balance is on point today. They're handling bumps and curbs smoother than a crop sliding into water. Megasaurus 55's got a battle ahead.
That's a great effort from Robbie. They need to keep up the pressure and see if they can make a move.
The gap between Patrick Schwanz and Vectra 2000 is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Patrick Schwanz to bring Vectra 2000 into play.
Oi, Vectra 2000 better crank up that Walkman and put on some tunes. At this rate, you'll be catching up to Patrick Schwanz by the encore.
Patrick Schwanz's lead over Vectra 2000 is shrinking quicker than a cheap shirt in a hot wash. We're down to 7.9 seconds.
Vectra 2000 is hot on Patrick Schwanz's trail like a Carolina Reaper. This is shaping up to be a nail-biter, folks.
Well, it looks like we have a bit of a traffic jam on the track.
It's like rush hour out there. I mean, I know we're in a race, but can't we all just get along?
Haha, I don't think that's how it works. These drivers are here to win, and they'll do whatever it takes to get ahead.
I guess you're right, but wouldn't it be great if they all just stopped for a cup of tea and a chat? We could have a lovely little race reunion.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats, or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Smells like Wii is getting closer to Jack M10, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel.
Exactly. Smells like we's got to be careful not to overdrive, sort of like overcooking a steak. No one wants a burnt race, right?
I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind? Even I'm not that self-sabotaging.
Sweet mercy, Andreas Dittmann's lagging like my grandma's old computer. Might be time to reboot, or at least pour some coffee into the gas tank.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Roby will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. Fair dinkum, Roby's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter.
Lukey here. Robbie's got the optimal differential settings, allowing for tighter corner exits. It's like watching a cat chase a laser pointer when they chase Megasaurus 55.
It's a great day, and the tarmac's heating up, and these tires are getting a proper workout.
Speaking of which, tire management is such an underrated skill. Knowing when to push hard and when to conserve, it's like a strategic dance out there on the asphalt.
Smells like we's more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast. And at least I woke up with a kebab in hand.
Dang, smells like we is so far back, he might start seeing last week's race. But hey, in racing, as in love, persistence is key. Right, y'all?
The race is heating up as Andreas Dittmann in 7th closes in on Roby. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they're going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight.
Well, shoot, if Andreas Dittmann was any more laid back, they'd be horizontal. Reckon they're daydreaming of those cheerleaders again?
Look, it smells like we trying to close the gap on Jack M10. Kind of like me trying to get close to a decent Barbie back home.
Barbie? Oh, you mean a barbecue. Yeah, but over here it's like trying to catch the last slice of pizza at a Super Bowl party. The tension between Smells Like We and Jack M team is palpable as they battle for P1. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
Oh mate, Andreas Didman's more out of place than a vegan at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Time to throw another gear on the barbie. Andreas Didman is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Roby to 138.0 seconds.
This is what racing is all about. It's anyone's game at this point. Who will come out on top?
The evolution of these cars over the years is nothing short of incredible. The aerodynamics, the tyre technology, it's all a game of innovation.
Couldn't have said it better. And to think about the data analytics behind every decision, from tire pressures to wing adjustments. It's not just a sport, it's a symphony of engineering and strategy.
Andreas Didman's so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind.
I agree, Andreas Didman is putting in the effort. Sort of like me at karaoke night, not sure about the results, but full points for enthusiasm.
Jack M team is on fire, it's all over. Jack M team has claimed victory in this race with a stunning drive that will be remembered for years to come. Clearly at the top of their game right now.
What a display of skill and precision.
What a drive from Smells Like We, securing a great second place finish.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
Roby claimed 6th. Excellent focus from Patrick Schwanz to secure a fantastic 3rd place on the podium. Fourth is Vectra 2000 app. Megasaurus 55 end in 5th. Seventh sees Andreas Didman.